Percussion Axiom TV. I'm your host, Tom Burritt, and this is episode 24, the first episode of 2009. It's hard to believe 2009 is here, but it's great to be back, and really looking forward to this year. You know, I think most of us, to some degree, are kind of planning ahead, thinking ahead, all those sorts of things, and that's a lot of what I've been doing, aside from a lot of practicing, getting ready for some things this spring. But I want to talk briefly here before we get going on with the show about something that we've been working hard on, and that's the second annual Round Top Percussion Festival. It's going to be held in Round Top, Texas, which is a very small little town, sort of halfway between Houston and Austin. And it's a little bit in the middle of nowhere, but there's the most amazing concert hall there, and the people there have been wanting to do a percussion festival, so it's a privilege for me to be able to kind of plan the whole thing. It's sort of like a mini PASIC, except there's no clinics. It's not really educational as much as it is strictly performance. So last year we had the Soul Percussion Group. They were sort of the featured concert in the evening, actually in the afternoon. And then in the evening we did a thing with the Baylor Percussion Group and actually did Varese ionization sort of jointly. And I think it was a big success. We're working on drawing people, so you're going to get sick of hearing me talk about it. But this year, we've sort of finalized some of the plans for it, and we're going to get a new David Lang duo, looks like. I'm going to play part of the first concert and premiere the new marimba, Paul Lansky marimba piece. And our featured ensemble will be Third Coast Percussion Group, so we're really psyched about having those guys here. They're going to be actually at UT Austin for almost the whole week before that. So anyway, I'll link that up. You're going to hear me talk about it a lot in this show. If you're in Texas, you've got to come. It's going to be a really, really fantastic experience. And even if you're not, it might even be worth traveling in for. There are places to stay on the grounds. It's almost a retreat sort of thing. It's really hard to describe, but I'll link that up. So anyway, you're going to hear me talk a lot about that. Had a blast. I hope you guys had a great holiday. Really had fun over that time. With family, and actually, you know, spent a little time on Twitter with some of you guys who watched the show, and we were jib-jabbing a little bit about the Texas and Ohio State Fiesta Bowl, and I have to admit the Horns didn't play very well, but they sort of squeezed it out at the end. We got lucky on that one. But anyway, had a lot of fun with a couple of you kind of twittering back and forth. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you really need to go check out Twitter and what you can do with it. It's a way for us to really communicate even about something like football. It was a lot of fun, and something I want to encourage. It's just easy to communicate that way, and we had a little bit of some ribbing going back and forth, so that was fun. Okay, so on with today's Axiom. Today, this is episode 24. We're going to finish up on our series that we've been doing on rolling. This is How I Roll. I know, it's kind of cheesy, but hey, got to come up with some titles here, you know. So up until now, if you don't want to jump in on this right now, go back to episode, I can't remember if it's 19 or 20, and follow it through. But we talked about some 2 mallet rolls first, and the last episode about 4 mallet rolls, and my approach to that, and what I do, and what I think is important. And so today we're going to summarize that very quickly, and then sort of just, I'm going to play a little piece here at the end that I think illustrate a lot of what we've been talking about. So today's Axiom sort of is similar to the last one. Not episode 23, but 22, and that is, you know, why do you develop extended techniques, right? We need to do that, developing them, to use them in a musical, meaningful way. So today we're going to demonstrate how that works, not just talk about building those techniques, but actually demonstrating that. So it's always important, obviously, if you're going to develop and spend all this time in the practice room and developing all these fancy things, to actually use them in a musically meaningful way. And so I hope today I'm able to demonstrate that to you. So I don't want to rehash everything we've been talking about, but some key things that are important as I play this next piece for you. Observe my stick height, okay? We talked about that early on in the series. The goal is to keep it as low as possible, even through dynamic changes. That will allow us to hear less contact from the mallet. Okay, so that's going to be something that hopefully you'll notice. Roll speeds. I'm utilizing ripple rolls, I'm utilizing independent, and the Burritt roll, which if you're not sure what that is, go back a couple episodes, and the traditional roll, all mixed in together. I'm constantly shifting back and forth to help avoid the listener from really latching on to any kind of regular beating pattern or something, because that's really what the ear is designed to do. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing. So that's about all I want to summarize, because we don't want to go too long here. But the piece we're going to play is a piece that I've been playing in concerts for the last couple of years or so. It's the second molitva, and molitva is a Bulgarian or Eastern European word meaning prayer. So this basically is a prayer for the solo marimba, and it's actually a marimba piece written in chorale style by a local Austin, and he may have moved to New York now, a composer by the name of Stephen Barber, who heard me play one time and was so enamored by the sound of the instrument that the next day he had a piece for me. And so if you've seen me play over the last couple of years, you may have heard this, but I think it demonstrates real nicely what we've been talking about. So this piece is definitely folk music, so it really should be very, very expressive in nature. It's not really a serious piece. It's just, music from the gut, if you will. It's very emotional and very, and this is actually inspired by the 100th Psalm. So I think that's it. So this is Stephen Barber's Molitva 2. Actually, one more thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a PDF form on my front page of my website. So go there. You can download this for free. Okay, no problem. And if you want to play along, learn it. It's a nice recital piece. It's a great study in how to actually play it and make some shifts and everything we've talked about. Remember Miss Pac-Man, right? And the chase. Okay, those are some important things. If you don't know what that means, you've got to go back and watch previous episodes. So anyway, this will be in a PDF file on the front page of my site. Feel free to take it. Don't worry about it. It's totally free. Print it out, play it, and I hope it really helps the way you roll. So give me some feedback on, it'd be nice to see how you guys like the series, if it's something we should do with some other topics. I've got some really cool ideas on future shows and how we can maybe do some things together simultaneously, like maybe learning a piece together or an etude. So it's not, not anything huge or anything, but something that we can learn together and kind of talk about how we do that. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So that leads me into today's question of the episode, which is, related, of course, to what we're talking about today. Is I want to know how you use your extended techniques. They don't have to be rolling techniques or whatever, but I want to know how you think about using your extended techniques in a musical, meaningful way. Okay, so this is your chance to kind of pipe in, let me know, and I'd love to hear those in the comments. So anyway, this is Stephen Barber's Molitva 2, so Prayer for Marimba.